What was good, boys? Today I'm going to show you how to calculate if you can keep up with a girl. For today, we will be assuming that you already have a bike ride planned with a girl you've never ridden with, and you're targeting an actual girl. But if bro has low enough testosterone, this would work as well. The math should theoretically actually work in the real world, especially since it's coming from a man that passed Honors Algebra 2 with an A-, but maybe in the future we will actually test this theory with one of our subscribers and a real girl if we can get enough likes. All you'll need to do to get started is a paper and pencil, a graphing calculator, and Strava. And if you subscribe, it helps you understand the math better by 35.8%. To calculate if you'll be able to keep up with a girl, we will need to calculate the girl's approximate riding fitness to see how long it will take her to complete the route and compare it to your own time. And if you don't have a route yet planned with this girl, boys, don't even sweat it. I'll go over this in a bit. Okay, for our first step, we will need to collect the girl's stats. For this example, we will be using my homegirl, Demi Vollering, because we go way back. And we will need to find this girl's average speed on flats and vertical climbing speed. To find average speed on flats, we're going to have to hop on the Strava and take the average speed on a flattish ride. This might take some stalking, but it's okay. Just make sure you avoid hitting that kudos button by accident. Okay, so we found a good ride here called Ride with Sis, and the average speed is 17.5 miles per hour. So I'm just going to write that down on my paper. To calculate climbing speed or vertical climbing speed, we're going to need the formula vert equals triangle h over t, where triangle h is elevation gain in feet and t equals time in hours. Okay, so now boys, we're going to have to hop back on the Strava and find a decent elevation ride and just plug in the stats into our formula. I'm going to be using Demi's ride, long easy endurance ride so we simply plug in total elevation gain, which for me is 9,646, into triangle h and divide by 5.9 hours, which is a total ride time, and we get 1,631, which would be in feet per hour. These complex formulas may be a bit overwhelming, but this is nothing to worry about, boys. Once you get enough practice and you rep this out a couple times with multiple different girls, trust me, you'll thank me later. Okay, for step 2, boys, which is the heftiest step, we're going to need to apply her speed to our own ride. Now to do this, we'll already need to have our route planned on Strava, and what I'd recommend you do is pre-ride the route to manifest the end goal of being able to keep up with this girl. But this will also give us the amount of time it takes you to complete the route, which will then compare to the girls. So make sure you get that taken care of with enough time before the actual ride. And some of you may be thinking, but bro, what if we don't have an actual route planned yet? Absolutely no problem. We're going to ask her what route she is planning on doing so we can fit her in our schedule. This can be done through iMessages, Snapchat, Instagram DM, email, letter, it really doesn't matter. But some of you may be thinking, but bro, what if this raises her 17 hydrocortisone and compound F levels? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you've come to the right place and the right guy, and I will show you exactly how to get this done using all the experience I've gained in the last few years. So what you'll have to do is simply send the message, just curious BBG, what route were you thinking? Because I have to pick up some flyers for you right after, using one of the forms of communication we just went over. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send this text over, and I'll get back to you in a bit when she replies. Okay, so I have the route, boys, and apparently it's 12 miles with 1,500 feet of elevation, which is not bad for a girl. I'm so sorry, guys. That's wife number 15 training to go buy groceries. But keep watching the video, and trust me, I'll get there someday. Now that I have the route, I'm actually going to go ahead and do a pre-ride, and I'll let you know how long it takes me by the end of the video. Okay, I'm back, boys, and my time for this route, which is pretty solid, I must say. So now that we have all this information, we're now going to actually do the calculations for the step. And to start, we're going to calculate her climbing time for the planned route. So what we're going to have to do is take the route's elevation gain and divide by her vertical speed. We're going to be using the formula time it takes to climb equals elevation gain divided by your vertical speed. And for my example, this will be 1,500 divided by 1,631, which will come out to 0.92 hours. Now we're going to have to estimate flat and downhill time. So we're going to be using the formula time on the flat and downhill equals distance divided by her average speed. So for me, that'll be 12 divided by 17.5, which equals 0.67 hours. Lastly, for this step, what we're going to have to do is put her times together using this formula, where total time equals time climbing plus time on the flats and downhill. And for my example, it's going to be 0.6 hours plus 0.92 hours, which equals 1.59 hours, or 1 hour and 35.4 minutes. Now for our last step, which is step 3, we're simply going to have to compare her estimated time and your time for the route. Demi's time is 1 hour and 35.4 minutes, and my time is 1 hour and 37 minutes, which is just brutal. And I hate to break it to you guys, but there are certain factors that our Lagunar scientists couldn't include in our formulas that may result in you going even slower. Riding with a girl, if you're unexperienced, will raise your heart rate by around 30%, which will unfortunately hurt your fitness. Also, depending on how much you have to yap during this ride, it'll reduce your VO2 max by 65.4% on average. Also, the bike she rides and the bike you ride might impact pace. But if you're slower, don't even sweat it. At the end of the day, men in general are better than women at riding.
While men generally possess higher explosive power and speed due to physiological factors, women excel in endurance cycling and ultra-distance events, often
outperforming men
as distances increase due to
superior fatigue resistance
and mental toughness. Women are often more
aerodynamic
and efficient over long distances.
Enough! You get out!